Okay, this is the Parks, Arts, Recreation, and Culture Commission meeting. We're gonna go ahead and call this to order. I'm the liaison, Manny Hernandez. We'll go ahead and start with the.
No, we're gonna establish quorum first.
Oh, established quorum. There you go. Okay, Casey?
Yes. So we have Commissioner McDonald. Commissioner Morris.
Here.
Commissioner Wynn.
Here.
Commissioner Sanjani.
And,
Sanjani,
uh-huh.
okay, and Commissioner Scott.
Here.
So we do have 5, and that is quorum. Next, we would like to do the pledge of allegiance. Stand. Flag is here. I pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance.
Flag of
The United States of America, to the republic, which stands one nation, under God, and indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'll go ahead and, let's see, pledge of allegiance, we'll move on. Next, we'll go ahead and, take public comments on items not on the agenda, and so let me, I'm leading this meeting for now. When we get into the item, we'll elect the chair and vice chair, the chair will take over the meeting at that point. And I can help guide, the chair of meeting. So this is usually the order of how we do things. So we are taking items, public comments on items not on the agenda. So that's the public is gonna speak. And just to familiarize the commissioners with it, that is not a discussion thing. It's when the public speaks, they're given up to 3 minutes each to speak on the item. And we, as a commission, you will listen to their item. If you have any clarifying questions, rather than questions that will start discussion, clarifying questions only to clarify what they said, and you can take notes on what they said, and that's it. It's not a discussion item for the public. I just want to make that clear, because sometimes that gets confusing. So, do we have any public comments not on the agenda?
At this time, I do not.
Okay, here we go. Next, we'll move into minutes. What I will say on the minutes aspect of it is, I know most of you weren't here for the last minutes. We do have one person that I believe was here. You were at that meeting, right? Teresa?
Yes.
It is,
I was there too.
oh, you were, wow. Okay, great, that's great. So if you were there, we are going to go ahead and see if there's a motion to approve the minutes, and even if you weren't there, it is okay to vote on the minutes for approval, okay? You can trust in those that are voting for it, that it's standard, that you can do that, even if you weren't there, okay? So do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the last commission meeting?
Commissioner Morris.
Do we have a second?
Second.
And then we do a roll call vote, so then we'll start with Commissioner McDonald.
Here. Oh, approved.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Wynn.
Yeah.
Commissioner Sanjani,
Yes.
and Commissioner Scott. Approved. Okay, so that passed unanimously.
Okay, next item is the item I'm sure you've all been waiting for. We're gonna go ahead and select the chair and the vice chair. We'll do one at a time. This is just, I am just looking for nominations, and hopefully, seems like some of you have gotten to know each other a little bit, or at least met each other. But we will start with, we have 2 motions we're looking for, is a motion to, for a chair, and then we'll go ahead and move to a motion for a vice chair. For now, if anybody wants to, what's the word I'm looking for? Nominate. There you go. I forgot. If anybody wants to nominate someone, just say their name. That's all. We'll write down the names, and as soon as nominations end, I'll close it, and then we vote for this chair and vice chair. So the first one is a motion to select a chair. Do we have any nominations for chair?
I nominate Commissioner Morris.
I second that. Yeah.
Okay, before we second, we have one nomination. You accept Commissioner Morris? Okay, are there any further nominations? Not hearing any, still an opportunity. Okay, with no other nominations, do we have a motion to select, to appoint chair, Commissioner Morris for the chair for 26, or 25, 26, actually not.
Yeah.
You have, is this a motion? Okay.
Okay.
Motion to, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a second, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, now we'll take the roll call vote. Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Wynn,
Yeah.
Commissioner Sanjani,
Yes, yes.
Sangani, and Commissioner Stout. Yeah. Did I do it correctly one time?
Sangani.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
got it once. That's unanimous.
Great.
Great.
Thank you, Chair Morris.
Chair Morris.
No.
Okay, we will go through the same process now for vice chair. Vice chair, I think, I was able to meet with everyone here, so that's good. So vice chair serves as a replacement to run the meeting. The chair runs the meeting. In each of our meetings, they will, replace the chair to run the meetings when the chair is not present. I think that they will meet with me on a regular basis if the chair cannot meet with me for a month or something like that. Chair usually will meet with me to, set the agendas, okay? So do we have any nominations for vice chair?
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have one for Commissioner Wynn.
Any other nominations? Not hearing any nominations? I'll go ahead and close the nominations. Do we, what?
A motion.
Do we have a motion? For, to elect Commissioner,
As vice
as vice chair?
Sure, I motion to.
There we go.
elect
There's a motion.
Commissioner Wynn as vice chair.
Do I have a second?
Okay.
There's a second. Go ahead.
I use initials in the meeting and I am getting all of your initials down. So we have Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Chair Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Wynn.
Yeah.
Commissioner Sanjani, Gani.
Second.
Yes.
I'm gonna write something, and Commissioner Stout.
Yes.
That passes unanimously.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So with that, I will hand over the meeting to Chair.
I should prepare for this. Okay, so,
Yeah.
with that done, we're gonna move on to the agenda. Let me get to that. So I believe the next thing is minutes.
No,
No, we did it.
item number 3.
Item number 3. So I didn't print out my entire thing. I'm gonna get to that page. You don't have anything for item. Oh, right. Okay, so item number 3 is review and provide input on outdoor fitness equipment. Is there a report from
Yes.
staff?
Yes, there
Okay.
is. There is a report, staff has something. So, what this item brings in front of the commission is, the opportunity to review the proposed design for the new outdoor fitness equipment plan for Hillview Park and provide any kind of input. So at this time, we currently have outdoor fitness equipment that is very aged. I think it's from the 90s is the history we found on it. And, we're just updating it, and we're doing everything we can to replace the systems that are there because members of the public who use it utilize those systems and like it very much. And we are also trying to add new components that other members of the public who wouldn't use the current system that's there might have an opportunity to use. So with that, staff solicited proposals, and we did an RFP. We had a board or a group of evaluators evaluate those proposals, and we selected Greenfields. Greenfields Outdoor Fitness Equipment Incorporated, and we put it in front of council. Council was able to approve that. They approved that, and we are going to work with Greenfields to come up with the replacement plan for that equipment there. They have, part of the reason we selected them is they have a very good proposal with a very dynamic set of equipment. So with that, we are just looking for input before we go into actually meeting with Greenfields and talking about the final version of what we're going to do there. So with that, that ends my report.
Okay, so next is if there are any clarifying questions by the commissioners. And clarifying questions have kind of rules or parameters around them, so it's truly clarifying questions. We're not having discussion at this point, so you can ask Director Hernandez questions about.
About
what
anything
it
that
is.
I just reported on or anything that you read that wasn't clear, that you've seen already. And we'll, what we can do is, if you have any clarifying questions, if you don't, I'll go ahead and show the slideshow. And then you
Okay.
can ask questions after that, okay? All right. So with that, the proposed fitness zones, and I'll just tell you what the group was thinking when evaluating this new fitness area. And that would replace the area, if those of you commissioners or anybody, members of the public are here, they will see the area next to the baseball field, is what we're talking about. So what Greenfields did is they put these components in as a proposal into the actual space that they took photos of. You can see a couple of photos there of what they're proposing to put in. They've given us two versions, what I'll mention right now, the two versions of this. One of them has the surfacing that you see, is we're gonna go either with the DG, decomposed granite surface, which is essentially a hard dirt. Or we can actually put a softer, pour-in-place rubber surfacing in there. So staff, as proposed to council, is leaning towards the rubber surfacing. It's much more resilient as far as if you fall or anything like that. So there's some more views of what we're looking at, and we'll get into some slides. There's an overhead, and I'll get into some further slides of as we continue on of the components themselves. I think it goes in a little more depth. So the first thing that you're gonna see, and this is part of the reason we selected, and actually it was in the report, but I wanna go over. The group that selected is, we have a couple of staff members and actually a member of the public, former Parks and Rec commissioner that was interested in this item as well. So we did have some outside discussion with somebody there. The reason we like this is their 12-person challenge fitness rig. If you look at a lot of the components, it really serves a lot of the things that are currently in place. There's the horizontal ladder, there's the pull-up bars at different levels. The incline ladder is there, and these are things that you'd actually see that are currently out there. There's also the plyometric steps, as well as there's other things like the sit-up bench, the dip area, and everything like that. So on to the next one. That shows you a little bit of the items that are out there under that 12 station setup that we have. So we really we really like that aspect of it. Kind of puts it in a smaller space, but it's all there. There's some more views of it. Now, the new components of it that we're excited to actually introduce to the community, and maybe we'll get members of the public out here that wouldn't have used the system that's currently out there, are these actual weight resistance type of motion items. So what you have here, what you're seeing in front of you, and as proposed, and actually, if you notice, some of them are ADA accessible, where the wheelchairs, you can see, actually was able to access that. You're looking at any kind of vertical chest press. You're looking at a dip area and an overhead press, or sometimes called military press. Go ahead. There's row machines and then leg press as well. So, so some of those components, these work different areas of the body, and this is something that we have not had here. This is more of a modern setup. And then we will have a sign system. So that has yet to be decided yet. It will give some instructions on what's out there. If you go to the next one, I believe it gives more detailed items. Yeah, that's the end of it. So so there's a signage setup that we'll negotiate with the contractor, with the vendor. It's going to put that Greenfields. But this is for ages, I believe it was 14 and up is what we talked about. And then anything less than that, you need adult supervision. That is what we're requesting for that. So there are some cautions on that one. Just recommended though. But I think that we think the evaluators thought that this would expand the system that's out there. There are some components. This is not finalized. This design is not finalized yet. So at this time, we will hear or discuss anything with the commission, and we, as far as taking input on what you've seen and what you think would be good out there as evaluation. Personally, oh yeah, one. So, okay, now, with what I reported and the presentation that I just gave, are there any clarifying questions that you have?
And you can just, I think we can handle just being able to speak up, and if we need to.
Yeah, you
one
should
by
just
one, we can, but-
identify them and say, go ahead.
So yes, state your name, please.
Oh, Erin.
Well-
You don't have to say your full name, but it would be nice for a while to give us your.
Okay, Erin. I was wondering about the maintenance. Is Greenfield a local company? Are they doing maintenance?
They're a nationwide company and they're, a lot of the outdoor fitness companies now are considered maintenance free. It's really just a matter of when they break down. They're completely, they're movable or their moving components are really encapsulated tightly. So if there's a problem with it, it's gonna be a warranty thing. Outside of that, we did, part of the evaluation was its wear and tear over time. Because some of these components, are like either rubber structures inside that eventually will give way and they'll loosen up and they'll be, irrelevant, but that's over years and years of usage. Some of them are some kind of encased, shock systems and stuff. But for the most part, Greenfield's resistance is a counterweight balance of when you're sitting on seats and stuff like that. So that tends to last longer because it won't have a system that'll break down. If there is some kind of water intrusion or even air intrusion in some of those closed areas, we would have repairs or warranty issues to be addressed on that. But for maintenance, it's basically just regular cleaning, because there are some seeds and stuff like that.
So are
And
there,
I'm sorry, staff would do that though.
so
Staff would,
staff would maintain it?
yep, just like they would have played.
I think, given that some of those components probably have bearings in them, like the rowing machine, I think I would recommend the rubber surface instead of the gravel. So that if a component of gravel were, you could just eliminate the idea that gravel might
I
get
think
stuck.
this is moving into discussion,
Discussion.
so if you could ask a
We-
question, that would be great.
Come back to.
Yeah,
Well, no, after
so that'll be
your-
part of your discussion.
Discussion item.
That'll
Yeah.
be- Okay, so,
Do you have any more questions, though? No. Okay, great, so just hold that.
anything
Okay,
else?
thank you.
Anyone else?
I have a question.
Yes,
I'm assuming this has already been approved budget wise,
yes.
so I'm just curious how much it's going to
It's
cost.
within the budget. You can look at the city staff report for exact, I actually did not bring the exact amount. It's within the budget. The budget, I think the budget limit with, that was approved through the capital improvement project was 145,000.
Okay,
It's within that though.
great. And then the second question I have, is I've seen these in other like outdoor spaces. Does anyone like monitor or make sure that people are using them correctly or there's no injury or it's like we have the signs and that, that's enough?
Yes, it's like a playground. It's really like a playground, and that's why the recommendation is anything, I believe it's 14, don't quote me on that, I'll have, okay. And then 14, below 14, you would need adult supervision, so
Okay.
that's our recommendation, just like any playground that we have a 5 to 12 playground that if you're below 5 years old, you want adult supervision, kind of thing like that, so. It's really just, yeah, it's out in the public.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
What did the demand look like for this before we started the project?
We do it much like the playground systems, once they're aged out, it is something that's there. It is something that's being used by the public, we've witnessed the usage. We believe the usage can increase with more variety, and that's why we're looking to improve, the variety of items to be used. But we do see that there is a demand for those regular users, and they are regular users, I believe some of them are here, to speak today too. But on top of that, we want to make something also that's accessible to members of the public that don't currently use it. Anybody else?
I have a question. It sounds like you reviewed a proposal from a few different vendors.
Yes.
So cost aside, was there anything else about this particular vendor that stood out for you that made them the front runner?
Their reputation throughout a lot, the main thing is if, in reviewing those, proposals, this one really did a good job of encapsulating what's out there right now. The other vendors, to be honest with you, didn't hit the nail on the head on what those things. They used a lot of the newer components and didn't incorporate everything into it, so that's just in summary, I think that put them really high on the list. But if you go to a lot, they're nationwide, and I've seen a lot of parks with these greenfield systems. So they do have a good reputation.
Any other questions from anybody? Okay, then, we will go to public comment.
We have one public comment.
Okay.
Chair Morris.
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
3
Okay.
minutes, please.
Maria Batista.
What am I supposed to do? You can stand up there if you want, somewhere we can see you. That'd be great, thank you.
I'm actually gonna have your clock up there. I mean, it's not that you can see it, but it's there.
So, yes, good evening all. It's, welcome too. It's so nice to see you faces. I served on the park commission. Oh, I'm Maria Pizza. I'm a resident. I served on parks there many years ago for 11 years, so be careful what you start. But I just wanted to say, so we're excited about the possibility of new equipment in this zone. I actually, as a resident, but I live in walking distance and I have for the last 25 years, so I come by here really daily. I have a pretty good sense of how that area is currently used. And I would just like to comment that, I think I'd like to see some real attention paid to what is chosen. Currently, it's a pretty simple setup, and I think the simplicity of that is actually what attracts people. We have people of variety ages, both Leslie and Nathan back there, both use the equipment, and they, love to like just hang on the bars, which is actually incredibly in trend right now. And I get a little bit concerned that some of the hanging things are all tight into one structure, where right now they're separated and it allows different people to be using items at the same time and not on top of each other. And I caution a little bit about too many moving parts. I've seen this down at Egan School has sort of a similar setup, and it's all kind of cranky at this point. Doesn't work, so nothing moves. I don't know what the lifespan is. I'd also say in terms of just additional things, I would urge keeping signage super simple, maybe one sign, and not we're oftentimes inclined, I think, to put a lot of stuff, right? And I think simplicity would be a great goal, even in terms of signage too. I'd also like to say the log border that is out there right now, there's a log border in the ground. A lot of people use that as a balance beam, and it's nice and long. And it not only serves as a balancing feature, it also prevents little kids from like running up to the equipment right away. It slows children and dogs down. So I would recommend keeping that as part of the features there. I also would like to say too, there's a movement in Los Altos right now. A number of people showed up at the dog park meeting at city council recently in opposition to anything artificial on the ground. And I really do see that there's going to be a movement toward a citywide policy, like the encouragement of a citywide policy to remove plastics from all aspects of our community. So I would suggest maybe not going there with the surface material. And I also would just like to say too, if we're looking at that area, it would be really great to do, I know pathway is part of the overall potential budget, but the pathways on both sides of that area are heaved up and have been for years. And I see people tripping every day, they catch their feet. And I know they're striped in white and have been for a number of years, but it'd be really great if we can incorporate the access and egress to that in the improvements too, especially if we are attracting more people to the site.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions of the speaker?
Clarifying question.
Clarifying question.
I have a clarifying question, since you live so close by. What kinds of sounds do you hear coming from that area?
So I don't live within ear, like, distance of it, so I'm not exposed to it in that way, but in my travels past there, it is not a nuisance in any way in terms of sound. It is generally 1, 2, 3 people. They're generally kind of just doing their own thing, as I would say, it's the majority of use time. And the baseball field, of course, attracts team sports. And that, is sort of a different potential use for it, but that's more of the rarity. On a usual day, it's a few people who have, most people are in walking distance and kind of use that on their path, their like sort of walk or exercise path to move it down. So.
Thanks.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yes, would it help to look at a close-up of exactly what is on the plan? Cause I wasn't able to see from here, exactly what the plans are, but you were saying that you were worried about them being too close together and all. Would it help to look at it in detail and then maybe tweak something?
Yes, and I don't know in what format or forum that might be possible, because I think there are, some regular users that might have some information to that extent that might be proved useful and helpful to really kind of dig in a little bit as we move to the next step of finalizing equipment. And, I would recommend that there is a informal session or like a final brainstorm around the actual pieces. I would think would be beneficial.
Oh, I love that idea.
Okay, thank you. Any- okay. So with that, I'm gonna get back to my cheat sheet, because I don't need you.
Yes.
All right, are there any other?
Hang on. You've got to fill out a card, and that's how you,
Nathan did.
you wanna speak? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Do you have it?
Nathan's is for item, well, it says item 4, but I think that he meant item 3 because he wrote out the focus. I'm sorry.
Okay, come on up, Lisa.
Yep,
Sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna adjust your card since we save these forever.
Well, thank you.
There you go. I'm so sorry. Yeah, he wrote the word.
Oh. Great, thanks.
You can.
Oh, hello, all. I'm speaking as a very frequent user of that workout station and also on behalf of the community that's formed around the workout station. I've met a lot of people, young and old, who use the workout station, so I've actually been in contact with them regarding this issue, since it's important for a lot of us. I want to say ditto to a lot of what Maria said. First of all, the simplicity of it. Yeah, I am a fan of that idea, and I also acknowledge that like the new structures with the rowing machine and whatnot, might bring more people to it. So I understand that. I also think, yeah, the Eden setup is now kind of creaky and it's hardly ever used whenever I go. But yeah, that's just perspective. The log border, I also agree with, is actually like very used, and I noticed that a lot. And just like aesthetically, it looks really nice. And then the surfaces, I also would be a fan of like a more natural surface rather than a synthetic surface. I think there's a lot of like, there's emerging, or, there's evidence that, synthetic surfaces like such as rubber can pose health risks. And I think in the long run, I think going for that more natural feeling, I think would be better. I'd be more of a fan of that, and the community is as well. And then when it comes to all the components of the station that we looked at, I think, yeah, there's only 2 things that I would change, is just including a ring station, a gymnastics ring station, and a push-up bar, or sorry, like a push-up bar / station. Those are like the 2 main things that I think could really make this a lot better. And those are 2 essential pieces of equipment, but overall, I want to say, I'm happy with how it looks so far, but that's just my input. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Any clarifying questions for the speaker?
I have a clarifying question. What examples of the natural feel can you give
The natural feel of what?
of the
Material.
material, the ground?
Yeah, there's, we can have stone dust or compacted gravel, wood chips, the decomposed granite or dirt.
So decomposed granite is considered a natural,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, I think it's just like a mineral. Yeah. I forgot like what that element is. I looked it up.
Good job. Good job.
We're asking clarifying
Just
questions,
fine.
just clarifying.
Yeah, but
questions.
the Egan track, I think, is gravel, but I'd be a fan of that
You
as an
can-
option for.
That's okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Any other speakers on this item?
Nope,
That's it? Okay, all right, great. So with that, we'll close the, public speaking time and move, public comment time and move to discussion. So now, just, we can chat about this. What was that?
Commissioners have any, you've had a few days to look, and much like the speakers that were up there, go ahead and staff is looking for any kind of input that you may have on what you've seen either today or in previous, readings of the presentation.
Can I
Yes,
Okay,
please.
Erin, hi. I need to learn more about Beacon, but I don't know when that equipment was. 2008. 2009 or 2009, so it's 14, 16 years old. It might be at the end of its natural life. And so I'm a little concerned with comparing to something that is dead, you know? For all intents and purposes, that it's like, well, this won't work because this isn't working. After 16 years, you can expect it to require maintenance, and if the city's not maintaining it, then you can expect it to be broken. Rubber, I don't want to get into a big debate about surfacing, but I do want to point out that there are options that are not gravel that could be more natural. I mean, rubber is a natural material, latex rubber. Once it's vulcanized, like into tires and things like that, it's not natural. But there could be a way to incorporate recycled materials. I think that with the right message, you could get a couple advantages out of that material. One is if the equipment clinks and clanks, like if you're unbalanced and you're on two sides of the lifter and somebody drops the bars and there's like a loud noise, that's slightly likely to echo off of the gravel more than it would off of the rubber, which would muffle the sound a little bit. Just off the top of my head, I can see that happen. And then the other would be, there would just be many less components to get stuck in the moving parts if there weren't a bunch of tiny little pebbles around.
And is that? Are you,
I'm-
for now?
Yeah.
Okay, and you can come back if you hear something and wanna make additional, add more, that's fine too.
Okay.
Okay.
I was wondering, in terms of the contractor, how customizable is the plan? Is it a template, or would the public maybe be able to like hold an informal form on it and make little edits?
We selected the vendor based on what they proposed, but we are definitely open, and in fact, I'm already talking to members of the public who I think have an interest, that I'll have a meeting with them to discuss some of the items, because they have a whole booklet on things that could be included on there. I do have some experience with gym equipment, and the additional things I think would draw some people who would normally go to an indoor gym, like a 24-hour fitness or whatever it is. But I understand, in speaking with members of the public, I've done a few meetings, brief meetings with them, that use it, that they like the components that are there. So I can actually meet with those people and have that discussion with her, just to get more input. Once again, it's not that I'm gonna take everything they say and they're gonna create their own. It's, I wanna get some more input, like what we're doing now. So.
Something in moderation.
I'm Beth. I have a kind of question, comment. Do we have a sense of just a demographic who primarily, like, is there like a dominant group that primarily uses this equipment? And the reason I'm asking that is because if it's like, it's primarily seniors, right? Then I think it's really important to incorporate equipment that can be used for developing balance, because falling becomes such a big thing, right? As you get older, it has such a high risk. So I want to know if that's at all been consideration when selecting this plan.
Yes, it was. Our primary in selecting the plan, our primary goal, as I'll refer to again, is trying to put out the new items that resemble what's already out there, because from our observations, we have regular users there. Now, with the regular users, if you're looking for demographic, it is a wide range. I've spoken to members of the public, that are speaking here, to much further along in age, that actually use it. And yes, balance was important, and I think, some of the members, or some of the, I think both of them spoke on a balance log, That is not something that the company will put in, but it has been heard, that has been heard. And the city is gonna deal with that aspect of it, because we do feel that was important to the public when they spoke to us. So we'll go ahead and replace that with newer, border, but to have ADA access into that, to the equipment area, there'll be some openings for that, but for the most part, we're gonna replace the wood, logs that are out there. That's our intention right now.
Okay.
We just have to locate them, because the company's not gonna do it. We'll do that after the install.
So when you say replace the wood logs with wood logs,
Yes.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a few things I was wondering about. Are there any computer components to this? Is there anything out there that has anything to do with computers? You know, like putting in any data to help them know what your target is or anything? Is there anything out there, like electronic anything?
No, like the Peloton stuff, no, there's not. They do have depending on the signs and the systems we have, I believe there's downloadable things to your phone that you can scan onto the equipment, whatever equipment, it will have a QR code, but that's a whole.
Just the QR code?
Yeah, it'll just be a QR code, all the components will go through. the phone. I'm sorry? How to use it, to give you exercises, to give you full workouts, I
Right.
believe, but once again, that's in negotiations with our final
But
plan.
I know-
Do we wanna include that for that? Once again, more signage, more space,
Yeah.
maybe that's not the ideal thing, but we'll see.
Okay, and then as I looked at it, I was thinking, there's the leg press.
Mhm.
And there's sort of a face-to-face aspect to that. And my experience with that, even in just an indoor gym or in public places in other cities and stuff, people don't like to share that space unless they know each other. It's kind of an awkward situation where you're facing a complete stranger, and for a female in particular, you're doing a leg press and can feel a little uncomfortable. So I'd suggest a single leg press situation if possible. I think the other is that I see that we have wheelchair. You can back up a wheelchair, that I'm so excited about that, and I wonder if there's any additional wheelchair aspects that we can put into that area, so that there's actually more equipment that can be used.
That'll
In
be
that
noted.
way.
That'll be noted. We'll talk
Okay.
about that.
And then there's I think it's called a stand board. You lay on it, your feet are held by it, and you do your sit-ups. That's extremely popular in a lot of outdoor
That's,
equipment. Okay, I must have missed it, sorry.
it was part of the 12 station.
Okay, I missed it. I was looking at it, I was like scanning or.
It's not slanted though, it's flat, I believe, so
Okay,
it's easy to
that's
get
good.
onto. If you
Okay.
slant it, it
Okay.
makes it a little bit harder for most people.
And I'm super excited. I should have started with this. I'm super excited this stuff is getting upgraded. I mean, I know it needs it. And when we were doing the dog park pilot program out there, I spoke with people that were using that equipment, and I remember a couple of teams, I was really surprised that they were out there.
There's a
I was
couple
like,
teams out there.
well, you guys are using it? They're like, yeah, we love it. And so that was really cool. I think the balance piece would be really nice if there was even, not just the log, but even another balance, component. 'Cause I
There
think
is one other bounce component, but we'll make a note of
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, the warranty, what is the warranty on it?
I'll have to see, I think the usual warranty, forgot what this one was. I'll have to go back and look, but it was a basic warranty of like 3 years for labor or something like that, and 8 years for the components or something like that.
Okay. great.
So I'll, don't quote me on that, but it's pretty standard. There were some other proposals that had less of a warranty. It was like 1 year.
Right,
And then there were some that were actually longer, and I think either way kind of gives you some suspicion on what's going on. This was somewhere in the middle, like I
and,
said.
and I think Greenfield, I mean, having gone to the CPRS, meeting, I
Huge.
think they're really a good company for this, right? Like, I felt like their equipment was really good, and their reputation is really good for it. Is there any way we can have more meetings for the public? It sounds like you're meeting with some people.
I'm meeting with some people, yeah, just to
Okay.
get some more input. I will invite, and much like the people I'm meeting with, I will invite the public who's watching now, or if the commissioners have colleagues, friends, anybody that they want to go ahead and mention, hey, I'm taking input, send me emails,
Okay.
and I'll take that all into consideration in that. I don't wanna create huge forums over
Right.
the space.
Right,
This has already been done, we're going in, we like this system.
Okay.
And we're gonna go forward with a version of it, but yeah, we'll take all the input we can from the public, that's.
okay, great. And then the surface, my input in them is, and I'm very consistent on this, is I'm really opposed to poured in place because of the microplastics that are involved with that and the underlayer. And I would like to see a safe DG-like product. And I think what's out there, that harder surface seems to be working. I meant to ask Nathan when he was speaking, I know I can't do it now, but how that surface was for them. Or the, it's engineered wood, product that is actually shaped and, is safer. If there's any kind of fall or anything like that, that actually adds a component of cushioning to it. And I haven't heard any complaints from any of the neighbors about any kind of noise from that area at all. And we've had complaints, you know, that we've dealt with, and I've talked to all of the neighbors in the past, about noise over there. So I'd like to see, you know, a safe, not all VG is safe, and there's some that have these binders that aren't as good, so I'd love to share some information about maybe some alternatives to that, but that would be my option.
Sorry to interrupt, but also cork, a wood product or an engineered cork, something that has sound absorption properties and is soundsy might be like
Yeah.
an option.
You know, this is an opportunity, anybody who's in the room or listening, if we have anybody online, this is an area that needs to be worked on, is surfaces. There's just a wide open, anybody who needs to make money, this is worked out. So, thank you. Any other questions? Any other comments, any discussion?
I have a couple more, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you don't have to, sorry.
Okay,
Please.
would you consider a consult with Magical Bridges to show them your idea and see if there's other elements that you could incorporate for ADA accessibility? Those are the playgrounds that are around.
Yeah, those are for youth playgrounds, well, this is adult fitness area, and it's a very confined area, Magical Bridge, they don't have any,
What I'm saying is, I'm not suggesting that it's a playground.
yeah.
It would be an easily accessible expert in incorporating experiences for people with disabilities that might have just a couple suggestions for you. It's just a thought.
Yeah, that's fine. Once again, as them being a member of the public, they can send me their input on
Okay.
it as well, if they wish. But working with Greenfields, they're well versed in giving accessibility in their equipment. In the fitness area, because playgrounds is completely different.
Okay, and then the other question is, have you considered keeping the current equipment and incorporating new elements in addition? And why are you replacing the current equipment?
Current equipment, we believe, is somewhere that was installed between 1996 and 1999. So we believe that it definitely has, it's gonna come to an end of its life. We don't want people getting hurt on it. I think we're very fortunate, whatever, it is so basic though, that's what's made it last. It doesn't have a lot of moving parts. The steel that they used is, you know, they're pretty solid. As far as leaving it there and incorporating it, the way that it's laid out, the layout doesn't, it's not really open to this, having space to add things to it. We would have to remove components, and I think all the components in some form are used. And so compressing them into a smaller area like that 12 station system that you saw, that is the new thing, to put all of those things in a smaller space. But we did look at just leaving it there, but we're worried that at some point it's not. And the other thing too is that isn't being an older system, as much as some of our speakers or some of the public uses it a lot. The newer systems are more inviting to a bigger population. Those people that can't do pull-ups, that can't do push-ups, they are doing something there, some kind of starting activity with the motion systems.
Okay, if that's it, we'll close the discussion.
Thank you.
But I believe we need to, do we need to have any kind of motion or direction or anything? We're all set. Okay, all right, great. Excellent. Thank you for taking time to come.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so moving on to our next item. which is item number 4. Which preparation for our work plan discussion and joint meeting. I believe we may have a presentation.
No, not a presentation,
Not a
but I
presentation,
will,
but
we will, you give a report.
A report, thank you.
And an explanation. So, thank you, Chair Morris. So annually, each commission discusses their work plan and prepares their work plan for the year, the calendar years that we're looking at. This commission coming in, will actually prepare this work plan, in the upcoming meeting in November, and actually put things on, and then the plan is to approve it, or at least review for approval in January, to prepare for the joint meeting with the council, where they get a chance to look at the work plan that's been prepared by this commission. They will give input there too, they will give suggestions, and they will give direction, because they actually direct commissions in some cases, in some things that they would like to see commissions do. So, what this item is, it's a simple item of just getting people to start understanding what the work plan is, understanding what the process will be in the November meeting. And to prepare, to get that item, ready in November, and then we'll put it all together, staff will put it all together, and then we'll review it again in January for approval. So, what was included in your work plan, if it's gonna spin for us, what was included in this item is the last year's work plan. For the most part, this work plan is 1 page. And let me outline this work plan. The work plan they are items that the commission intends to accomplish within a 12-month period, January to November, essentially, or December. There's items in there for December. So with that, I just want the commission to keep in mind when preparing for the work plan, that they would want to, create a plan that is attainable, that you can accomplish. So actually, looking for versions of a public swimming pool and getting it installed and created and installed next to the community center is not a realistic 12-month work plan item. So that's just a ridiculous example that I just created. I've had the opportunity to meet with everyone, and I think there's an understanding of what the purview of this commission is. This is an example. Some of the things in this previous work plan we got it, Sean, in the previous work plan will remain probably for the future year. I will explain that a little bit. But also, when we leave the meeting tonight, in the next month, or however it is before we meet, when we come back, go ahead and think about those ideas that maybe you're thinking about, that you want to put in the work plan, that you want the commission to accomplish or do something for the council within the next 12-month period. So what I'll do at this time, Chair, if it's okay, is I'll go over the work plan a little bit, the previous work plan, and kind of give you the concepts of what they're looking at, what you're going to be looking at over the next 12 months. So in the left column is your goal. And as you can see in the left column, those goals are real general goals. Then there's an objective to those goals that are attached in the same line, and then you create the project. That's where you really come in once you create the objective. And most of these objectives can remain for this commission at this point. If you want to add more objectives, or maybe wordsmith it a little bit, which is what we've done. But these are things like increasing community outreach, expansion of public art, community event participation, increased cultural programming, and ongoing parts and arts participation events. Under that, your objectives is defined, and the projects is really where the commission will have the task of creating what you're going to do as a project under those line items, so to speak. So the column following onto the right of projects will be your anticipated completion, and I can help you with that, because if you choose table at the summer concert series and you want to accomplish it by April, that's not possible, and I'll help you with that, because our concert series is in the summer. So that's just an example. So we can put a timeline of when you expect to complete it. Priority source, I will attach, or somehow it will attach to the council priorities and goals, and what you can do is look at past council goals They posted that, I believe, on the council, webpage of our website. Take a look at their goals and see if there's some of the things that you think, we can create projects out of. And then I'll put a priority source, and then the assignments. If you create a goal such as, I believe this would say, I'm just guessing, for increased community outreach, table at the farmer's market for public input on upcoming projects. That will be led or accomplished by September of next year, probably. And the assignment would be Commissioner X, okay? So you would assign volunteer, it could be up to 2 people that are gonna meet as a working pair to discuss what things you're going to do when you table at the farmer's market. So that's part of what you need to think about between now and our next meeting. So, so please, I encourage you, I think, without going line by line of what they did last year. And like I said, this one used to be, I think I spoke to some of you, used to be 3 pages long in a commission long ago. And it's actually down to something that's more, attainable in 1 page. And I'm not saying pages mean you can accomplish it or not. I'm just saying, let's think about the number of tasks that you put upon this commission. Because when you go back next year, and actually, I'll tell you what, when you go back this year to the joint meeting with council's gonna say, you think you can accomplish all this? Depending on how long that is, because they'll read it and ask you those things, because they may add some more stuff for you. So, but that's what we're gonna do in November, so you can really take a look at this, previous work plan and bring those ideas and concepts and even, your willingness to volunteer for certain things, to November's meeting, okay? And we should have 1 more. We have 6 members of this commission, the 7-chair commission. And so hopefully the 6th person will all explain it to them as well. So, do you have any clarifying questions on that?
Thank you.
Okay.
So I'm Misty Sangani. Is this complementing the staff's work plan?
Yes.
And do we see that work plan so we can kind of see like, oh, maybe we can help here?
We don't necessarily have a staff work plan, but all the things that staff does, can be either found in programming. You can look at our program guide, or you can look at the general budget for the city. We have a narrative that talks about all the things that we do. That's a great, no one's ever asked me this question, but that's great to look at. As much as I've directed you to kind of look at the goals for city council, I would encourage you to go to the budget on the website, the city budget, go to the Parks and Recreation Department area and read the narrative. You will see all the things that we do, such as projects, such as park maintenance, such as recreation programs, facility maintenance. You have ideas for those things. That's, thank you. That's
So
right.
something that makes sense to you,
Yes.
right? So we're
Yes.
not like spitting out here on our own.
Yeah, and that is, and I say this, let me emphasize how great a question that was, because some commissioners in the past have said, you know what we need to do as commissioners? We need to get together and figure out a way that maintenance can better dump trash cans. Once again, I don't make these stories up, these actually. You don't dump them soon enough and stuff like that. That is not something the commission needs to do, because in our work plan, we maintain parks.
Right.
You'll read that in there and you'll understand, that's, like I said, a ridiculous example, but just giving that as an example of things that you don't need to address. Good ideas like, you know what, they do a summer concert series, maybe we should do an unplugged concert at the Veterans Plaza at the end of summer. I'm just, those are things that would complement our program.
So we find that under the city budget, under
Yes.
park programs?
Yes, go ahead and look at the parks end of the budget, there's a narrative in there
Okay.
that says all the things that our department does. I don't believe there's anything covering the art though, but, Chair Morris, is there any? I'm trying to think of what we can talk about with the art aspect, where you can find information on it, because all.
We have a webpage. We do, we have a webpage, and I think there's also a, document about the art.
The
And I
document,
meant to email you about that.
yeah,
Get it out there.
probably be something that's a little more descriptive, I think, the
think
art
we
that
have
goes
it.
on, because we have the brochure.
All for art.
Explanation.
There's Call for Arts, Art Without Borders, and there's gallery art. So there's things that,
Yeah.
those are things that are in there, and actually you'll see it in here as well. Maybe things that complement that as well. If you want other art programs and things like that, cultural programs, which you read some of those in the budget document. But yeah, cultural programs is something, and as a hint, as I've spoken to all of you, as a hint of what council's objective is to expand cultural programs as well. So you can list it.
Which is why we're called park, art, recreation, and culture.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
And then,
So we're working on this between, so by the next meeting, this is something that we need
Yes.
to.
Please look at that next meeting. We will come out and Casey will have it up on the board and we will start making changes to it as we speak.
Okay, so we'll be working it actively as a group at
Yes.
the next meeting.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. We do have a public comment on this item.
great, thank
Yeah,
you.
if there's no other.
Just one.
Okay. Remus?
I'll leave those. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Roberta Phillips, and, I lived here in Los Angeles for over 30 years. Congratulations to all of you, really important. You all, okay, this is what I sent you, Casey. Perfect. And so you have received this one now, and this is just in preparation for your next meeting. So, I spoke to council and to the city manager about some ideas of, doing a multicultural event. And they currently, Mountain View does it, the, Orange down in Southern California does it, I included the links on here. And, it just basically says, Parks and Recreation and Cultural Commission has been tasked with fostering cultural events. Why not combine culture, art, and recreation at a multicultural event downtown or in Lincoln Park? And I don't care where it is, I'm just making suggestions. I'm not locked into anything at all. Booths could be set up from our various organizations featuring ethnic food, arts and crafts. Small stages can be available for performances. Sorry, I lost where I'm available performances. Such an event would provide benefits to business communities by attracting residents and out of towners. It'd be a way to bring different cultures together to celebrate, educate the community, and have a lot of fun. We could do different, and I just list different things that are possibilities, such as, my daughter actually, for years, she was in San Francisco, and when they have Carnival, the samba dances and the parade, she does that, and her husband is actually in a drumming band. And I spoke to my chiropractor, said, oh, my husband is in an African band. So there's a lot, every time I mention it, somebody comes up with another idea. I even went on Google and looked at, just typed in multicultural books for children. And there's a ton of them. I didn't print it out, but feel free to, that's why I'm giving you some time to research this. And this is obviously something that, when I spoke with Manny, he said, maybe you guys would like to form an ad hoc committee or a subcommittee. So because it may take longer than a year to accomplish. It could be take a year and a half or whatever. But if you don't start, you never get there. And, I was speaking with, somebody that I know that lives in Southern California that's gone to, the one in Orange County, and please look at the links, because they do great, they showed sponsors, they showed different events. They show, they have like German beer booth, and they have, Celtic Irish dancers, and, this woman I spoke to said, yeah, I ate myself sick by eating a chocolate eclairs from France. So I just wanted to, get the ball rolling, and, hopefully it will be included as, in the work plan, so that we can have the arts and education and bring the community together, because right now, Our time is up.
Time is up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But does anybody have any, questions, clarifying
Sure.
questions for Roberta? Any questions at all? Okay,
Okay.
and we have this in our email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Roberta.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Process,
I've got it.
and you got it, so.
Okay, so, with all of that done, we can have a discussion, if anybody has anything they wanna talk about with this one, or just be ready next month for
Sure.
having a discussion and hammering this out.
And I will, Chair, if I might, I will just open it up that, send me an email if you have any questions on anything, any ideas you may have, or, hey, man, I'm thinking of coming forward and presenting something, or proposing something for the agenda that's whatever, and I can help you develop that if you need to, okay?
Great, thank you.
And will we have like a budget that we're thinking about? Or
No, there's no.
I'm curious about how the funding works for them.
Another great question, honestly, a great question.
So are we allowed to think about this?
Yes.
Yeah, just to clarify,
This
get
is,
ready.
Yeah.
to
okay,
get
it's the
ready.
discussion
Totally.
period of it. Okay,
So that's a great question. So what I'll answer is, there are two budgets that affect this commission. Actually, three. You have the public art budget, which is a little complicated. I can actually speak to that when I have more information on where we stand with the public art budget. And then there's the parks and park in lieu funds that are only to be used on park acquisition or improvements. And then there's the operating budget of the Parks and Recreation Department. So there are ways to tap into all three of those. Some you will automatically be requested to chime in on, especially the public art budget, because we need public art funds to maintain the public art that we have right now. We spend those funds on that to maintain, to improve, to acquire art for the public. The park in lieu budget is decided on by staff and council on what projects to spend that money on. This commission will be requested to, like you did with with this project that we're talking about, the outdoor fitness, you'll be asked at some point to look at that list and give input once again. So, so we'll accept the input with that, and that affects the budget in some way. And then the third aspect is the recreation operational budget, Parks and Recreation operational budget. So if you have an idea for a program, this is, I think, where it would affect the work plan a little more. If you have an idea for a program, or something to do, there is a discussion that you can have with myself, with my, deputy directors as well, to, try to plan for a cleanup budget site. Okay, so if you come up with, hey, I've got this skate park demo, I'm gonna bring in pro skaters and we're gonna put them out in the parking lot here, it's gonna cost $20,000 to do. When do you wanna do it? Wanna do it in April? Okay, my budget is set for the year, the city already has their budget set through June 30th, so let's start talking about anytime after July 1st. That's just an example.
Okay. So what, in November, when we're discussing this topic, will we have kind of, round figures for these three buckets?
Yeah, yes. So the park in lieu fund, that's not gonna cover anything on. Those are projects, you won't see this one. If it's on here, it's being that you're gonna get public input for that project. You're gonna go ahead and assist in input on the project or something like that. That park in lieu, like I said, that's the furthest one you'll be asked to give input on projects that are funded through it. The public art fund though, there are items on there right now that are gonna remain on that we will chime in on, that I will talk to you about in preparing the next budget, saying, do we need $30,000 to maintain these art? Do we plan on buying more art for whatever corners of the city that we're looking at? That's when we chime in on that, and that's where I'll give you a ballpark figure of how much we have, so I will come prepared with that. The operating budget though is a little different. I'm just gonna take ideas and that won't be processed until February, March when I start the budget process. So if you have ideas, I may be able to do some things. If it's something small, I believe, Chair Morris has some experience with that, when you did your, drop-in, I forgot what you called it. Pop-ups. we needed the pop-ups, I was able to find a few $100s for supplies. Something small like that is okay for stuff like that in budget year. If you're looking at something bigger, we want to budget for this program, so. Thank you. Yeah, good question. Anybody else?
Yeah, Aaron,
Yeah.
I wanted to discuss Roberta's, suggestions a
Mhm.
little bit. I know they aren't hosted by Los Altos, the city of, but there's the art festival, there's the wine festival. Well, no, the art. one.
Oh, the, Art in the Park.
Art in the park,
Yes.
yep, and then there's the art in one. And then there's the first Fridays and the third Fridays or whatever, the Fridays after. Yeah, and I'm not sure that I agree that we need another general cultural festival, like my kid's school does one, for example. But it might be interesting to think about how we could incorporate those ideas into the existing events that happen in Los Altos already, like.
I'm so sorry. Are we off topic? I believe we may be off topic and
Little
this
bit.
needs to come, is,
I
okay,
mean,
are we
she's-
still okay?
She's giving some suggestions
Okay,
for
okay.
thought of the speaker that was saying,
Okay.
prepare for the next meeting with this
Okay.
idea, so I think it's fine. It's
Okay,
perfect.
okay.
So anyways, I was thinking, just to keep it in mind as those, opportunities come up, instead of just having like a booth where we are, maybe we could ask ourselves, like, how might we incorporate more cultural opportunities? Who could we partner with? To say, like, we are representing all the different cultures, and here's something you might not normally see at this particular fair or festival, and we're making sure it's represented.
Yeah, we have to every year.
What?
Santeria.
Santeria.
They do an international day. to help with bring-
Oh, that's great.
Maybe we can bring that
Yeah. so-
in our next meeting and
So-
talk about it for our work plan. And if we want to include that on the work plan, being part of other groups or doing our own, that would be great. Thank you. Okay. So if there's no further discussion, we'll close that item. Agenda item.
Yeah, just, Manny, I need to tell you,
Okay,
the city doesn't call it Park on Blue anymore, they call it Park Impact.
parking back.
I was
Okay.
gonna ask that.
Just,
Thank
just
you.
for clarification for all
Clarify
of you.
that too.
All right,
If
thank
you
you.
look it up, you won't find it in the Park on Blue.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. I was gonna ask that question too. Okay, so that brings us to item number 5, choosing a date and time to meet.
This is
could be fun.
This is a tough one, yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
May I ask this, would it be possible to do a Google, thingy, where we all go? Survey?
well,
Or we can do it this way, if people know, maybe everybody came prepared.
yeah, hopefully that's what the report
So
is
it's
saying.
not, maybe something is the 18th is plus that.
So we're scheduled for the 18th by our regular schedule
Yes.
of November, but because of the where Thanksgiving weekend falls, council has moved up
Oh, okay,
to the 18th.
council meeting.
So the
Okay.
council meeting day, yeah, so we have some options, I guess, is I don't believe that we have the option of not having a meeting. So we could either try to find a special meeting in November. Or I can request through council that we have, and I think they'll approve it, I'll request through council a special meeting in December, because we are not, commissions should not be meeting in December and July.
Oh.
But I think if we can't find a day because of that holiday, we could meet in early December, if that works for everyone. So obviously we wanna try to keep it on the same meeting day, a Tuesday. If we decide Tuesday's probably not the easiest day to do, we could move it to a Wednesday or Thursday, but as we've seen in the past, it kind of messes people up because they're usually scheduled for a Tuesday, so. Do we have a suggestion to find something in November? Or maybe
Oh, November.
December?
How about December 2nd? It's a Tuesday.
Okay.
I did it December 2nd.
Is there a reason we wouldn't do November 11th?
It's Veterans Day.
It's Veterans Day.
Thank you. I have a Japanese calendar, no.
December 2nd is also a council meeting date.
Can't do
That's
that.
a good,
So the meeting on the 18th,
According-
and then
according to
2 weeks
the
later,
calendar.
Yeah, every 2
the
weeks.
2nd and 9th.
Yeah. Because they move it up so they can avoid the holiday.
Yeah, so they could.
Yeah, this, I mean, this is the council meeting schedule for the clerk's office.
What about the 19th?
Unless they.
November 19th. It's a Wednesday. November 19th, anybody?
I'm good.
November 19th, you said?
Yeah, looks like we have three of us that can do that.
I have a lead meeting.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, usually,
Yeah.
okay.
How about the 17th?
Wait, so on November
17th is a Monday, does that work for staff?
I believe so.
Okay, 17th, does that work?
Monday, November 17th.
Okay,
Monday, right?
we got it, the
Monday.
17th, Monday the 17th.
at
6:30.
Because even if it doesn't work for me, I could get Jamie.
I will double check if we can do it at 6:30, but I'll keep it in the 6 o'clock, 6:30, and I will book it and send out an email.
I know there's other commissions that meet on Mondays. I don't believe it's seniors, that's the first of the month. But my point being, we may not be in this room, so
Okay.
you'll know which.
You'll
ones
tell
we're-
us.
I will let you know.
We'll find
Okay.
out, yeah, we'll find out, so.
So it's not that we can't meet the same night other commissions do, it just means
No.
we might not be in here.
Correct.
Okay, all right, so we've got up the 17th.
Well, that was easier than we thought.
Yeah, well, that's a nice way to do it, but, so that is the last, item on our agenda.
Before we move to
Information.
informational items,
Yeah,
I had a member of the public request late, item not on the agenda.
okay,
It's up to the chair,
it's fine.
you able to speak? Okay,
Yeah, it's not
so.
so-
go ahead and call for it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fine.
So,
Tom, would you like to come up for 3 minutes? You can go.
Yeah, started.
Good evening, commissioners, and city staff. Transparency's sake, I'm, currently on the Police Streets Commission for the city. Been on it for several years, but I'm here talking as a resident of the city. So one of the things that, I talked to Danny, Jamie, Keith before, and up here is about pickleball, the parks, and so I play a lot over at McKenzie and then also over at Eden. If you're familiar with that, they have indoors. So, one of the first things I want to do is thank staff and city for actually providing these new nets, really nice nets over McKenzie. And so everybody I talked to, they really love those nets, so thank you guys. That was really. And even people that come from different court cities. Appreciate that, really that. So. The other thing is that one of the items under your, work plan is a survey. Getting public, more, input from the public, and the previous commission, Judy, I guess was working on that, and I think you were too.
What?
Okay.
but I was on the,
Okay,
Ad hoc, yeah.
working group.
Yeah.
So, she asked me not to publicize it or put it out there to actually put the survey out there. And so I was wondering if we know what date that's gonna be out there, and then also there's changes that someone would like to make to it. So we'd like to show hard copies, but not giving anybody the URL to, actually take the survey online. So I know that she said before that she had trouble going to the courts and trying to talk to people. And so I think it would be helpful if there was people that do know a lot of people there and do play, that would put in or help with the survey and talking to people. Another, Jim, I think you talked about this before, addressed it was the web camera. In case you don't know, there's a camera out there in the courts that shows real time. There's actually a lot of latency on that. And sometimes it freezes up. I don't know if that's always kind of an issue or if it's just the company that you guys work with. And the last issue was, I think I talked before, was, the parking out there is pretty tight, especially when we added sandbags. They took 2 stalls, so we got a dog park, so that is a, parking situation here, I'm not sure we can do anything about it, but.
Thank you for coming and your comments, and does anybody have any questions, clarifying questions?
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Um. Am I allowed to explain that we don't, we can ask clarifying questions, but
Don't answer questions.
yes.
Don't answer
So-
questions. Yeah, just that one. Go ahead.
So when we have public speakers, they come and they tell us what they want to tell us, and we can't have a discussion with them. We're only allowed to have questions for them. So in case it's kind of awkward, that's why, that it's just a rule, so that everybody knows. And then I realized I needed to do a full disclosure. I actually spoke with Nathan, who spoke earlier at a city council meeting. And that's full disclosure. I had a conversation. So I didn't know him. He just was asking about the doctor. So that concludes, the agenda items there, but informational items, anything that we need to staff, anything?
Stop, no, just, some information. We just finished this last Saturday, our, Halloween movie night at, Grant Park. I believe one of our commissioners was there, as usual. And it went pretty well. I guess we're somewhere in between, our high attendance and low attendance. So it was somewhere in the average, 60 to 80 people attended. And the movie was Shrek, and I think everything went smoothly from what I hear. The little kids unplugged the movie or anything, so.
No, nobody tripped on cords. It was really fun. Everybody enjoyed it. We were laughing, adults were laughing. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, others, this weekend is the
Family fun.
family, there you go.
Family fun day. It's on Saturday, yeah, it's a Halloween themed spooky, or spooktacular,
Get the work off.
and so that'll be here in the morning on Saturday.
10 to 1, I think it opens at 10 and ends at 1. It's an opportunity. These are all opportunities, and I really hope commissioners jump in and volunteer for a lot of this. We need more commissioners volunteering.
Yeah, and even right now, your volunteer, connection will be one of my supervisors, Bridget Matheson. She usually coordinates the volunteers for, her programs. And depending if our coordinators run certain programs as well. Actually, Mary Jo does a few programs.
I will send Bridget's contact information.
Yeah, Bridget usually handles, people coming in, especially commissioners.
I mean, for the whole city.
But I do encourage commissioners to even just check it out, even if you're spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes there. Just walk through and check out our
And it's
events.
right here?
our events. Yep,
Yep,
right here,
it'll be right here.
right here.
It's in
There will
this
be a
room.
room, yeah, this. room.
Across the roadway,
There'll be all
the
that.
library comes and does something in the grand oak. Yeah,
Give
so
it a
it's
look
fun.
and see what we're doing, and you can have other ideas, especially going into next month when we're talking about the work plan. Like, I went to Family Fun Day, and I think if we add, yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Now we're coming to the end of the year. We're just looking at that. It's like our events are ending for the calendar year. Yes.
Crazy.
Minnie, I had a question with the email that you and I exchanged, like the very last page. Of the meeting notes is the park commissioners assigned to different dates to attend the city council.
Yes.
meetings.
Thank you.
Unfortunately,
So-
I had a conflict, that's already on the schedule on the 28th, you said we'll discuss it.
Yes, thank you. That's another informational item that I'll bring up. So you will receive, a schedule, especially in the next year going forward.
It'll be much longer.
Yeah, much longer, because we'll have all the council dates for the year, for the calendar year, once we get it. We are going to, I wouldn't say arbitrarily, but systematically assign all 6 commissioners to one of the meetings. As the meeting gets closer, if there's a park and rec item that's on the agenda that, and you can talk to me about it, that you will need to attend for some reason, because council says, hey, you're gonna add a water feature to, Reseda Park. Has the commission talked about this? And I will tell them as much as I can, but if I have another commissioner there, they might want you to speak as well. Just an example. So that's the only time we need you at those meetings. So even though you're assigned, if there's no park and rec item on the agenda, you don't need to approve it. So we don't need to address it, but the end of the year, it's going to be. I don't know last names very well here, October 28th.
And
Stout?
Yes, and I have, I had a conflict.
Okay, so,
Do we know if
right
there's-
now, there's nothing on the agenda
Okay,
that would need park and rec and arts commissioners, so you're fine. You don't need to replace.
so
these.
could that be, like, could something come up between now and then?
No, actually, no, it's not possible. Sorry.
Okay.
I would have had to have the report in already, so
Gotcha.
it's,
Thank you.
so you're clear and moving forward, Dulwich. Alan, who's not here, November 18th, once again, as the year ends, I don't think there's anything the commission needs to chime in on, especially since you don't have your work plan in place already, so. I think everybody's clear, but this is the view that you'll see for the next year, and if it does come up, I will tell the commissioners, yes, I'd really like you there, council will probably like you as well. So that's all. It doesn't need to be addressed, and if you can't make one of those when you're scheduled, that's when you would, and can I get another commissioner going first, that's all.
I just wanna circle back to volunteering for a second.
Sure.
You have to have background check, so
Oh.
if you wanna do, volunteering in park, recreation and cultural commission, you need to have a background check. So, and Bridget helps you with that, so when you get her email, that would be a good thing to get ready for, in order to be able to participate, it's.
And
required.
Teresa, what is it? It takes a couple weeks at the most?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty,
So you might wanna do it in advance, though, because it's like, oh, I wanna volunteer tomorrow at that event. You're probably not gonna get there.
no, as long as you're a commissioner, you're good.
What if I got it, like, a long time ago, like 2 years ago?
No, you have to do it through,
Oh,
through the city.
The city.
So once you're done through the city, it doesn't expire, sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
It was
wait,
something
you,
in the city, but it was like, okay, I think I need to.
I know your
Yeah.
situation, you're
Okay.
probably.
Okay.
I know,
Okay.
she used to,
I'll
used to be a
connect you,
counselor,
No, I
Oh.
used to volunteer,
volunteer, okay.
Yeah. through Park and Rec,
no, I think I just have to do it.
okay.
We'll look at it.
You'll figure it
I'll
out.
connect with.
Okay. All right, I just want people to know ahead of time, because we've had.
It's a live
ordinances
scan,
tried.
so the live scan has the background information that you can't share with other organizations, so if you've got, it as a teacher in the school district, doesn't transfer to us, we don't know what it is, that's why you have to deal with it, so now you're clear. So that's all, thank you.
And then, any requests for future agenda items at this point? Anybody? No? Okay, all right, then I believe we're done,
We're
and we
done.
will adjourn at 7:56. Yeah. Great. Thank you all, yeah,
For chairing.
thank you